Morning guys, Joel Frank here, market analyst for YouTrading, and this morning we're going to be taking a look at the currency pair NZD versus the US dollar. We're going to be looking at how the Kiwi has been performing. And as you can see, from a technical perspective, there's been a lot of interesting stuff going on. I've got the chart here. These are 4-hour candlesticks. It's been a roller coaster recently. We had the formation of this pennant, this consolidation, and then we broke below the psychological 0 spot 70 level and tanked all the way over the course of last week, all the way to just above 0 spot 68. That was a more than 3% drop at the time. But then look at this. Since the start of this week, we've seen this aggressive recovery all the way back to around 0 spot 69.50. Now, just quickly on the fundamental reasons why we've seen this move. Well, we did talk about this last week, but we had a lockdown in New Zealand at the start of last week amid a new coronavirus outbreak, and ultimately that lockdown prevented the RBNZ from being able to hike interest rates by 25 basis points as they were planning to do before the lockdown, and that was supposed to happen on Wednesday. Ultimately, the bank decided not to do that rate hike. So that was, the lockdown, no hike from the RBNZ. Those are two key factors weighing on NZD. And then you also had this big drop in global stock markets and global commodity markets. And remember that NZD is a risk and commodity sensitive currency. This week, we've seen a bit reverse of that. Global stock markets have recovered most of the losses they incurred last week already. Commodity prices have been on the front foot. The dollar, which saw decent gains last week, has been on the back foot. So all of those global reasons have helped the NZDUSD pair lift. But we've also had some more sort of hawkish commentary from the RBNZ. Their decision not to hike rates last Wednesday was taken as dovish. The RBNZ is very worried about this outbreak. Well, we've actually had some RBNZ members, I think it was Assistant Governor Hawkesby this morning. He basically said the only reason they didn't hike 25 basis points was amid communication challenges, i.e. The struggle to explain to people in New Zealand who aren't as clued onto monetary policy why they're hiking rates when the country has literally just gone into lockdown. But broadly speaking, the commentary we've had from RBNZ monetary policymakers has been that they don't see the current lockdown as a game changer yet, which means they still see themselves as on course for monetary policy tightening, pretty much. And even one of them, I think it was Hawkesby again, Assistant Governor Hawkesby, said that they were actually thinking about a 50 basis point hike at last week's meeting. So yeah, pretty much it's been hawkish stuff from the RBNZ this week, with the recovery in global stocks and commodities and the weakening of the dollar, and that has helped it NZD recover. In terms of the technicals then, obviously the break below this pennant, this long-term pennant that formed sort of throughout July and early August, well, that added to the technical momentum. And then obviously we've had this rebound, and now NZD is struggling at this level here, which is actually quite a decent level of resistance. It's the 2nd of August low. It's also this little attempted recovery we had in the middle of last week, the 18th of August high. And that for now is capping the gains. If NZD was to push a little bit higher, then there's more resistance in the form of this 10th of August low. And then there's the 21 DMA there in orange, the 50 DMA there in green. So there is a bit of resistance. And so from that perspective, it is going to be a bit of a struggle for NZD to push higher. Conversely, to the downside, there's not really so much support, to be honest. I mean, I guess you do have these lows from back here, but they've already been chopped through, as you can see. They've been chopped through twice during the sell-off last week and then during the rally this week. So I wouldn't look at them as big of a deal now. And that means that potentially, from a technical perspective anyway, we could be seeing a sell-off back towards these lows. What could trigger that? Well, you still need to continue to monitor the situation in New Zealand. Coronavirus cases continue to rise. I think infections about 40 per day at the moment. And obviously, at the moment, as long as that continues, that means the country is going to remain in lockdown. And then if the country is, going to be in lockdown for months, then that's got to eventually be a game changer for the RBNZ. So that's one potential negative risk. But also you've got the main market theme this week is the Fed. Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking on Friday. If he's hawkish, if he hints towards a taper announcement in September or October, well then we could see the dollar strengthen, and that on its own could be enough to push NZDUSD all the way lower. But yeah guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.